Time is running out to sending your ballots and ensure that your vote is counted in the state's special election to redraw congressional maps. We'll break down the changes and impacts it could have on central San Joaquin Valley if voters pass Proposition 50.
A newly discovered pit field with hundreds of dead animals now being investigated by the Fresno County Sheriff's Office. What we know about the mass grave so far and why it could create a safety hazard.
Day 29 of the federal government shutdown, now bringing even more problems, namely a new lawsuit and workers going without paychecks.
If Congress gives a department money to fund a program, that department cannot refuse to fund that program.
So right now, when you don't know when your next check is going to come, you have to make tough choices.
What other consequences this shutdown could create as we near the month mark, and why a federal judge is now halting the Trump administration's power to fire federal workers.
And another dense fog advisory in effect. You can see it starting to settle in right there across downtown Fresno. Coming up, we'll let you know where the fog is going to be the thickest, and we'll talk about a little bit of warm up as well.
You're watching Fox 26, and now, great day.
We begin this hour of Great Day by taking you back out to live look at downtown Fresno. Today's high will be 78 degrees, but before we get there, we are dealing with quite a bit of fog, pockets of fog here and there. Certainly saw some of those on the morning drive. It felt like we were driving just under it. Some of that fog, though, inevitably settling down over the next couple of hours. Good morning to you. I'm Liz Gonzalez.
I'm Carl Cook.
And I'm Justin Willis. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, our visibility is probably about a half a mile in most places there, but the strongest fog is really going to be similar to yesterday from the Fresno area south.
Yeah, it felt like you were driving right under this layer.
Yeah, it's going to start to really settle in here over the next hour or so, especially as the sun starts to come up here. So let's show you what's going on there right now with your day planner. It's not terrible at the moment. We are at 53. Winds are calm, dew points at 50. And the rest of the day is going to be sunny. Well, once we're done with the fog, that is. 10 a.m., 60, noon, 68, 5 o'clock, 76 degrees. Yeah, and we should have plenty of sunshine out there as well and light winds by the end of the day. All right, coming up next, we're going to talk about the fog going on this morning, and we're going to talk about a little bit of a warm-up. Some places in the state are looking at record-breaking heat. We'll explain where that's going to happen next.
5:02. We are now less than a week away from California's special election, and this morning we continue our deep dive into the only statewide initiative on the ballot, Proposition 50. Under the state constitution, California's 52 seats in the U.S. House are currently drawn by the Independent California Citizens Redistricting Commission. This happens every 10 years after a census. Prop 50 would temporarily suspend the duties of that commission and place the power back into the hands of the legislature. If approved, that would only last until the next census count in 2030. Then the Independent Redistricting Commission will resume its duty. Under the current map, Democrats hold 43 of the state's 52 U.S. House seats, despite Republicans arguing that the advantage is deeper than voter turnout alone. As a voter, this means your representative may change, impacting how your voice is heard. Let's look at the proposed map. Supporters say that it is more compact than the previous one, with fewer city and county splits, and the majority of districts changed by less than 10%. 5 specific Republican-held seats are being targeted. Let's take a look at those districts and how they look today. District 1 is currently held by Representative Doug LaMalfa. That is the northern end of the state. District 3 is currently held by Representative Kevin Kiley. That one goes along the eastern half of California. District 22, here in our viewing area, currently held by Representative David Valadeo. It includes parts of Tulare, Kings, and Kern counties. District 41, currently held by Representative Ken Calvert, down here just east of Long Beach. And finally, District 48, which is currently held by Representative Daryl Issa. That one is down here from the San Diego area all the way down to the U.S.-Mexico border. And a reminder that representatives are elected, by the way, for 2-year terms. So let's dig deeper into the proposed congressional map and how that'll affect us here in the central San Joaquin Valley. Starting in the North Valley, there are virtually no changes when it comes to the Mariposa area and Merced area as well. Merced remains in the 13th Congressional District, currently held by Democratic Representative Adam Gray. Mariposa County remains in the 5th Congressional District, currently held by Republican Representative Tom McClintock. Now, let's take a look at the new map. You can see the district lines do shift in the northern part of our viewing area near Highway 99. For example, the city of Chowchilla, that one would move over to District 5, along with areas in Madera east of Highway 99, again along the Highway 99 corridor. A large portion of eastern Fresno County would also be shifting as well from the 13th to the 22nd district. There would be big changes when it comes to the city of Clovis. Here's a look at the current map. Again, that is the city of Clovis right now. Most of that district falls in the 20th Congressional District, represented by Vince Fong. If voters approve the new maps, Clovis would instead be split into 3 districts, as you can see right here. That would be the 20th, the 21st, and the 5th district. That would add Representatives Jim Costa and Tom McClintock representing Clovis. Now, big changes would also be coming to West Fresno County. As it stands now, it is largely in the 13th Congressional District. Again, this is just to give you an idea in case you can't see this on your screen. That's Firebaugh, that is Tranquility, San Joaquin, Mendota, Carruthers. But let's take a look at the new maps, again, currently represented by Adam Gray. But the new maps show that a large portion of that area would instead be shifted to the 22nd Congressional District. Again, that's Kerman. That's Mendota right there, which would remain at the 13th. But Tranquility, Kerman, and San Joaquin would be moved into the 22nd Congressional District, adding more Democratic voters into one of the seats being targeted, that one held by Representative David Valadeo. Now, on the valley's west side, communities like Coalinga, let me see, where's Coalinga? Coalinga and Avenal would be shifting to the 18th Congressional District. And that one is of note because that district stretches all the way up the corridor along the mountains to the west of the San Joaquin Valley. And it would take us all the way into San Jose, into the Bay Area. That's currently represented by Congresswoman Zoe Lofgren. Now, here's a look at the South Valley's current map. Rural areas outside of bigger cities like Hanford, Tulare, and Porterville will be shifted to the 20th district. Meaning under the newly proposed map, they would likely be represented by David Valadeo. There's a reminder, when it comes to filling out your ballots, just remember, a yes vote means that you temporarily approve the new maps drawn by lawmakers until the next census cycle. A no vote means that the current commission-drawn maps remain in place until the next regular cycle after 2030. This brings us to our question of the day. We want to know, do you support the effort to temporarily redraw California district maps? Yes or no? Right now, 34% of you are saying yes. You are behind this. 66% of you are saying no. If you haven't joined this conversation, we want to know what you think. If you've got your phone handy, scan the QR code on your screen. We made it easy. Just point your camera there and that'll take you to kmph.com/poll, or if you can go on your computer, kmph.com/poll to add your vote. We're going to be checking in on these results throughout the morning and all week long leading up to the special election. Justin?
All right, it's 5:07. All right, so getting a look at the forecast now. We got a few things that are going to be impacting us here today and the rest of the week here. So first, let's start up here. A little bit of a cold front there. That is going to scrape across Northern California, and that'll get our temperatures back down after a little bit of a warm up that we're going to be experiencing here through the middle of the week here. And that's because of some high pressure there. We're going to see our temperatures get into the upper 70s and then maybe some low 80s in places because of that. Also got some high pressure that's going to contribute to some conditions here in our state here. You couple that with some low pressure and a little bit of trough off of Southern California, and then we get the Santa Ana winds picking up there as well. They're going to get those winds are going to bring in some really warm weather to Southern California. In fact, they broke some records yesterday, and they're looking to break more today. But for us, we're dealing with fog today here in the San Joaquin Valley, just for the morning, that is. And here's where it's thickest right now. Visalia at the moment has 1.5 mile visibility. However, it's still early. Things will drop here as we get closer to sunrise. And we do have a dense fog advisory in effect because of that. A smaller area than yesterday, however, still in effect here. In effect until 10 o'clock this morning. Our visibilities could get down to 1/4 mile or less in some places for parts of Fresno County, Kings, and Tulare counties. So again, just this reminder, please drive safe, slow down, low beams, and give yourself plenty of time. All right, so how about that heat in Southern California, huh? They broke some records yesterday, and they got a heat advisory still in effect today until 7 o'clock tonight there, and it covers really all the way from Ventura County all the way south to San Diego County there. So very warm temperatures there today. They've also got a fire weather warning going on up on either side of the grapevine there in Ventura and Los Angeles counties. They're going to see their humidities drop to below 10% and wind speeds getting up to 40-50 miles an hour there. So very dangerous conditions there. And with that heat there, they're looking at some more 90s there today. Yesterday, LA got to 91, breaking a record. Normal for today is 84, and their forecast for more low 90s there as well. So we'll keep an eye on all that for you. In the meantime, temperatures for us into the weekend there, we've got plenty of sunshine out there. 78 today, 80 tomorrow, 78 Friday, and it should cool down after that. I mean, these aren't bad temperatures anyway. 40s and 50s for your overnight lows and light winds out there for you. Next, we're taking a look at your highs and lows across the rest of the San Joaquin Valley.
Time is now just about 5:10. Uncertainty is continuing to plague the U.S. as the government shutdown drags on. Why White House officials are now warning that the public's safety could be at risk the longer the government is closed.
Hi, I'm Monty Torres with Fox 26 News on YouTube. Thank you for checking out our YouTube channel, where we have loads of great content for you to choose from. And while you're here, why not click on the subscribe button right here? That way you can stay in touch with all the latest breaking news, everything news related within the Central Valley. And thank you for watching.